When it comes to using a whiteboard in a flex room, there are multiple options. In this video, we'll go through a couple of them, and you can see which one kind of fits your style and which one you feel more comfortable with. So I'll first start with the traditional method, which is using the actual whiteboard that is attached on the wall beside me or next to me, depending on your classroom. We're going to use the camera, manipulate it, control it, move it over to the whiteboard, zoom in that nice shot, and just go from there. These cameras have very high resolution and can pick up all your strokes without an issue. So first, I'm going to grab my touch panel here, go to my camera page, and then I have my camera control. So I'm going to go ahead and pan it over to the side where I happen to have a whiteboard. And I can really fine tune this as much as I need to. Zoom in a lot tighter, or on the contrary, maybe zoom out enough so that maybe you can catch me and what's going on the whiteboard. So I can walk over here, grab a marker, and talk into my lavalier mic. You can still hear me, and write on this board. So not even writing too big. I would say that text is maybe about 1.5 inches, 2 inches tall, and yet that camera picks it up pretty well, pretty legible. So that's method number one. Let me go back to podium here so you can see me. Now, method number two is going to be with our interactive monitor. There's a couple of ways, two main ways really, that you can use a whiteboard within Zoom if you'd like to share it in class and in Zoom. Or even if you're not even using Zoom that day, you can still use this interactive monitor as a digital whiteboard. So you can sit up here at the podium, you can write on it, a nice blank canvas, and it'll be shown on the large, 132-inch screen you have in front of you. Instead of trying to write so big and constantly erase so everyone in your class can see on such a small whiteboard, you can use this interactive monitor. So I'm going to share my screen. And now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and bring these controls in here so you can see what I'm going to do. I can also grab this monitor, okay, and bring it exactly where I want. I can raise it up. I can rest it down on the actual surface, and do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and hit a share. Let me get this menu over here. So that share brings up the confirmation page. And instead of selecting screen 1 or screen 2, I'm going to select whiteboard and hit share. Now I can make this full screen. I have a nice big blank whiteboard in front of me. These are my meeting controls. I can go ahead and dock these on my other monitor, get it out of my way. And now everyone in my class can see this big giant canvas up front. And obviously you guys in Zoom can see it as well. So I can use my finger and just press draw up top here, my menu. And I can just start writing with my finger if I want. I could also grab my pen, which is what we would recommend, obviously. You get a little more detail, it's a little finer, and do the same thing. You can also clear it all in one shot, clear all drawings, it resets it, or you can save it. So let's say, I'll use mathematics, for example. You're doing a math problem, right? You can do your math problem. I don't know, we'll keep it easy. And then once you're done with that problem, or you went into detail on how you solved it, then you can go ahead and save it right here. And when I'm done with this meeting and I end it, when this call is over, there'll be a pop-up in Windows with all my saved whiteboards. I can then open them, edit them with a name, for example, save those files, and possibly even send it out to my students so they can see a second time, how we came to that solution. And again, just using mathematics here for an example. So I'll clear that out. And that's the second option, using Zoom's whiteboard. We're just using the interactive monitor and using Zoom's whiteboard, right? The last option is using a Windows whiteboard. Some of you may be familiar with that. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of this whiteboard, and I'm just going to share my desktop. Okay. And on the very bottom right-hand corner of all these monitors, you'll see a little pen icon. Windows Ink Workspace is what it's called. I'm going to press that, and I'm going to press whiteboard. If it's the first time pressing it, which in this classroom it is, it'll install rather quickly. And once it's installed, we'll be able to bring up a blank canvas and use the pen The reason why this method is even brought up right now is it gives you a little more detail. So for example, I can rest my palm in this application, I can rest my palm and it won't pick that up as drawing, right? So the finger really wouldn't work in this application, the Windows application. It'll take that stylus, it'll use the pen of the interactive monitor to do so. So I mean, I don't teach, I'm not a professor. So, I need to rest my palm when I'm writing something. So this, when I do trainings or whatnot, this is the method that I use for a whiteboard. You could also import things. So, there's different options. I won't get into too much detail, but you can import a PDF drawing or import a photo into this whiteboard, into this canvas, if you would, and then do a bunch of work, annotations, drawings, whatnot, and then save that and send it out. So as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff on here from when I meet with my guys. So I'll press new whiteboard. And then now to show you, a bunch of stuff comes up here. Let's just get this out of our way. See, I can create text, we can do reactions, I can add images. I'll just X this out for now. And same thing, press my color, and I can rest my hand. See, I'm resting my palm right now. This is so much more natural for me, being that I don't teach every day. I'm not used to using a whiteboard and writing with my palm off the surface. So again, just one more method where I can zoom out. As you can see, it's a huge canvas. It's kind of unlimited, right? I can zoom in with my 2 fingers and change that size option. Once I'm done, I can save it, same thing, and send it out or keep it to my files. So there's no wrong way. I mean, even a fourth option I'm not going to get into, you could get a small dry erase surface. We've seen this done a few times, and put it under the document camera and share your document camera. And, again, I think a few mathematics professors like to do it that way. They do problems, sitting down under the document camera. That's another way as well. So feel free to get creative on how to use whiteboards. It's very common, obviously, amongst all professors. And these rooms give you, quite a bit of flexibility. So feel free to use any one of these methods to do so.